Hi everyone, this is Professor Varsi again. Um, I just finished uploading a lesson on titles and topics. If you haven't watched the lesson, I suggest that you do that before taking this lesson. But of the uh, most of the things that I talk about in the previous lesson, I will go over it in this lesson as well. So let's begin. Today's lesson is on titles, topics, and main idea. Okay. What is a title? A title is the name of a poem or a short story, an essay, a novel, a biography or an autobiography or a textbook, and a newspaper article. These are some examples of a title, okay? Of a poem, for example, The Road Not Taken, which is one of my favorite poems. I have many, but The Road Not Taken is one of my favorite poems, written by an American poet, Robert Frost. The Tiger, The Psalm of Life, Because I Could Not Stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. So the titles are all in blue, and a good reader can tell the topic of the essay or the poem or a short story or a novel by simply looking at the title. We'll discuss that later, but for now, let's just focus on different examples of titles. So, short story. These are all examples of a short story. The Telltale Heart, The Girl of the Magi by O. Henry, To Build a Fire, A Dark Brown Bag, or The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. Okay, these are all examples of titles. Another genre of writing is an essay, which is probably most pertinent to you as a student of writing. You are going to be writing multiple drafts of essays. So these are some examples of an essay. Okay, Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Roger Ebert. He was a very famous movie critic. Notes of Camp by Susan Sontag. Consider the Lobster by David Foster Wallace. These are all essays. Okay, a novel. I'm sure you have read a novel, either in English or in your first language. A novel is usually imaginary, right? What are some of the examples of a novel? Title: The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. The Color Purple, a very, very famous novel written by Alice Walker, an American novelist. Your Heart is a Muscle the Size of a Fist by Sunil Yapa, or The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton. So these are all titles of novels. Okay? A biography. A biography is usually a true story or a story of someone's life that another person writes. For example, somebody could write my biography, even though I'm not that famous, but that person will have to interview me and record my answers and then write a biography based on the information I provided. So these are all biographies, right? Henry Darger, In the Realms of the Unreal, or Moss, A Survivor's Tale. These are all biographies about somebody famous, someone very popular. And so what's the difference between a biography and an autobiography? An autobiography is the story of a person's life written by himself or herself, such as The Promised Land by America's former President Barack Obama. He wrote his life story by himself. So that's the difference between a biography and an autobiography, and that's why you see the prefix auto there, by the author by himself or herself. Okay, a textbook. You may have many textbooks, more than one, studying chemistry or biology or accounting or business, and each textbook has a title. Okay? Introduction to Criminal Justice by Robert Baum and Keith Haley. So you can see the titles are in blue, and in parentheses in green, I've given you the topics. Okay? Newspaper articles. Now, I live in New York, so I read the New York Times. In Boston, people read the Boston Globe. in Washington, the Washington Post. These are all America's leading newspapers, and they publish articles written by people. And these are the titles. Cows Lose Their Jobs as Milk Prices Drop by Scott Calvert. Very catchy title, isn't it? So these are some examples of titles. Okay. Now, what is a topic? Now, this may ring a bell if you took the previous lesson on the difference between topics and titles. So, what is a topic? A topic is the subject of a discussion or an essay or a conversation you're having. Because people, choose a topic. They can say, do you want to talk about curriculum or student success or how to write an academic essay? And then people talk about it. So one title that I went over in the previous lesson, but I will do it again just to reinforce the idea, Escape from the Western Diet, written by Michael Pollan. What's the topic? Health. You can tell us about diet, so food comes to mind right away. Okay. So what are some of the topics here? Health is a topic. So like Michael Pollan usually writes about food, his work is focused on health, eating a healthful diet, good food. Nutrition, education is a topic. These are all examples of topics. There are obviously a lot more, but I could only cover so much in one slide. Okay? And this is an extension to the previous lesson. In the previous lesson, I talked about titles and topics. Now, what is the main idea? You see that light bulb all lit up? The main idea is the writer's or the author's most important idea or central idea of an essay. Now, this is very important for you as a student, okay, of the English language or as a student of reading and writing. Very important, because in an academic essay, your professors will want you to write a thesis statement. That's from the writer's perspective, and from the reader's perspective is called the main idea. Okay? And very good readers who are fluent, readers who read a lot, they can guess the topic and the main idea from the title. Okay? So here, some examples of the main idea. College students should be allowed to work part-time on campus. And the main idea usually appears in the first paragraph of an academic essay. It's called the thesis statement also. It's in the first paragraph, the introduction of an essay. Okay? College students who communicate with their professors throughout a semester perform well. That's also a main idea. So I'm for now, just look at these examples, okay? And then we will study how to determine the topic and main idea from a title. So we have already learned how to determine the topic of an essay from the title. Now we will do both topic and main idea. Okay, so here, should everyone go to college? It's an essay written by a scholar. Should everyone go to college? Can you tell the topic? What do you think the topic is? College is about education, right? So it's a college education. And should everyone go to college? The author is questioning the reader. You can see a question mark at the end of the title. What's the main idea? As a reader, what do you think? Do you believe that everyone should go to college? That everybody is academically ready to go to college and do well and graduate with a decent GPA? So the main idea of this essay is that the authors believe that not everyone should go to college. Okay? So here's the explanation. I just explained to you that the title asks a question, and the answer is embedded in the question. The author believes that not everyone is ready for college. Okay. So now you need to practice what you have learned. Correct? Title, topic, and main idea. So the first title is a tax system stacked against the 99%. Stop the video now and do this exercise. What's the topic of this essay? What is the main idea of the essay? And how do you know? Do you have an explanation for why you thought the main idea of the essay is what you thought it was? Okay, so let's look at the answers now. A tax system, obviously the topic is taxation. And what is the main idea? That most people struggle paying taxes, right? Only 1% of the people benefit from the tax system because they're very rich. They make lots and lots and lots of money. But an average middle class worker, they have a hard time paying their taxes. Okay, that is one. Now, let's do another exercise. Is Google making us stupid? What do you think the topic of the essay is, and what is the main idea? Okay, and then think of an explanation. Again, stop the lesson here and complete the exercise. Okay, Google is a search engine, correct? It's the most popular search engine in the world, except in China, where Baidu is the most widely, frequently used search engine. The author believes is Google making us stupid. Our cognitive ability to think critically, think for ourselves. How do we know? The word stupid is there. So the title is a little provocative. Some people may be offended, especially those who use Google all the time. And so that's the main idea. And here's the explanation. Okay, we do one more. Why women still can't have it all. Pause the video now, complete the exercise, and we'll go over the answers together. How do we know that the topic is gender equity? Why women still can't have it all, meaning they're not as equal as men are. So they're still not treated as equal to men. And what's the explanation? As I just explained to you, the words still can't have it all tells the reader that women are not as privileged as men are. That's the title. Now, and if you're guessing it, it's clear that your reading comprehension is improving. You're becoming a better reader. Okay, how about this? Why don't convenience stores sell better food? Do the same as before. Determine the topic, the main idea, and then think of an explanation. Okay? Stop the tape now. Why don't convenience stores sell better food? It's about commercial food, right? Not homemade food. It's a store like 7-Eleven. And what's the main idea? Why don't these stores sell better food? Well, it's deliberate on their part. They do not want to sell better food. Why? Maybe better food is pricier or more expensive. So they sell cheaper, unhealthier food because that way they mark up the prices and they make more profit. All right? Okay, so let's wrap up today's lesson and summarize it. We learn that the title is the name of a written work such as poetry, prose, textbooks, etc. And the topic is the focus of a conversation or an essay. And they're not the same. right? So be very, very careful when you write an essay with a title. Make sure that your title includes the topic. And when you read an essay, be sure that you distinguished the title from the topic of the essay. All right? Very good. So we have come to the end of the lesson. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Work hard. Keep taking more and more lessons. I have a lot more lessons coming up. So continue to study hard. Ask questions in the comment box if you have any. Work hard, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye.